Good morning, Kevin Lloyd.
Good morning, McGraw. Good morning, Kelly. How you both
Kevin.
doing?
We're doing good. Each and every week you're on here to talk about retirement and savings and saving taxes in retirement. We have another workshop that are sold out each and every time you've done it. We'll get to that in a second. But what should we be paying attention to when it comes to taxes and retirement?
Well, McGraw, we know taxes in retirement can be our biggest expense. And it doesn't really have to be that way. We've always heard this, right? Growing up, I heard this. There's two things that are always going to happen, death and taxes, right? But I'm going to be honest with you. See, the thing is it's not a patriotic duty to increase tax, right? And I find people in retirement who are uninformed about taxes increasing their tax, paying unnecessary tax that they shouldn't pay. And it's unfortunate because accountants and financial people out there, they just don't really do this. And, most accountants are reactive. They kind of help you after the years pass to help you prepare your tax return, but they don't really do any much really forward-looking, proactive tax planning. And I think what we do is we start to trust these individuals and we think that there's nothing you can do. But the thing is, like I said earlier, taxes in retirement will be our biggest expense, and we have to pre-plan for it.
What's interesting, Kevin Lloyd, is that as an owner of Legacy Wealth Advisors, you're a retirement specialist, you're a fiduciary, and yet you don't talk about stocks and bonds and all annuities. You talk about taxes, and that's important to make a distinction because, as you're saying, it's the taxes and the plan you got to get first before you ever talk about any stocks and bonds.
You're absolutely right. My industry is bombarded by financial salespeople just selling stocks, bonds, mutual funds, annuities, what have you, okay? And our industry is commoditized. I mean, you can get that information from pretty much anywhere. You can go online and get that information. But the thing is that I have found that if I can help somebody save a ton of money in taxes or completely eliminate taxes in retirement, it will help them make their money last much, much longer. But see, the problem is if you don't have a strategy to eliminate taxes, that could reduce the amount of time that your money lasts, or definitely reduce the amount of money that we leave behind to our loved ones or charities. But, you got to think about this. In our workshop, we talk about people in the 15% tax bracket, okay, can pay over 55% taxes on their income without ever even realizing it. And so what I just said there was even though these people are in the 15% tax bracket, they could get pushed up and pay 55% on the last dollars in that 15% tax bracket. So we want to make sure that we have a strategy. And the reason that all of that happens is, McGraw, Social Security is tax-free. It was meant to be tax-free, but people pay tax on their Social Security because they disqualify themselves of receiving the benefit tax-free. And what happens is we don't anticipate these other incomes coming in, and it automatically starts pushing us up into that 55% taxes because of these different streams of incomes coming in.
Yeah.
Most likely we've saved our money in the wrong spot. But see, it doesn't have to be that way. It doesn't have to be like McGraw, if you take the word the IRS and you put it together, it really spells theirs, right? It doesn't have to be.
You've often said that if you lose 25% in your investments, you would be apoplectic. But every year, people lose 25% in taxes and say, well, what are you going to do?
What are you going to do? You're just going to write a check and you move on to the next year? I like to question things.
Yeah.
I don't want to pay taxes. I don't want my clients to pay taxes. We've all paid a ton of taxes while we were working. I don't think we should have to pay them in retirement, but people do because no one's ever taught them how to distribute their money in a way to completely eliminate taxes. Now, some people can't, but I want to see if I can reduce them as much as possible. McGraw, I don't want anybody to come into my office, 10 years after retirement and them say, I had no idea I didn't have to pay tax on all this money, and you could have saved me hundreds of thousands of dollars in tax. But unfortunately, it happens all the time.
Tell us about the tax seminar coming up.
Right. So we got a workshop coming up. It's almost full, but it's on the 14th of November, and we're going to do another one at 6 p.m. here. And we're going to talk specifically about taxes. We're going to talk about examples on different clients that I've had that came into my office and how we actually save them money in taxes, how I show them how to keep their Social Security 100% tax-free as well, too. I'm going to talk about how we talk to some people that have employer stock inside their 401k, that they were able to pull a lot of it out. Like one example we're going to show is the guy pulled $300,000 out of his 401k, and he only paid about 7.22% in taxes, which is a very, very low amount,
right,
especially for a 401k withdrawal. And so we're going to go over tons of tax strategies. It's only going to be about an hour, but I always stay after to answer any questions if anybody ever has any.
It's free and open to the public. All you have to do is call and register so they get a head count. 314-641-1010. That's 314-641-1010. That's November 14th, 6 p.m. at your office right there on 141 and Highway 40. Kevin Lloyd with Legacy Wealth Advisors, also the co-host with a great co-host, yours truly, on the weekends. The show is called When Retirement Happens, and the website, if to find out more, whenretirementhappens.com. But for this workshop, November 14th, 314-641-1010. Kevin, thanks, buddy.
Thanks, McGraw.